Can you really protect yourself from a bully? Right? So let's understand what a bully is, right? A bully is anyone that may find that they have power over you and may use it to their greater will and feel like they can kind of like back you into a corner with the energy and the power that they feel that they have, right? So when we think about why some people get bullied and why some people don't get bullied, let's go into understanding why the soul is not aligning with the other soul. Because most of the times people don't like you based off of frequency and vibration. Um, it can be jealousy or it can be envious, but even if it's jealousy and envious, you guys are still not vibrating on the same frequency, right? Because there's a level of integrity and there's a level of morality that the other person doesn't have, right? So this person is not vibrating on the same frequency with you. So when we think about a person who is bullying you and believe that they have that power over you, then they're basically understand that person frequency and your frequency doesn't match. It has no alignment, right? So one of the reasons, as I said it before, can you really back the bully off you? Now I have gave in previous videos some psalms that you can back the bully off. Now I want you to understand psalms. When you are using these magical chants as psalms, there's energy that's poured into them, like, right? So when you buy a book that multiple people are using, they are using this book, and there's an energy field, there's a magnetic field that is around this book that is a giving access, as if it's a servitor that's helping you create your will, right? So if a lot of people are calling on and help of a saint, Jesus Christ, whether or not people believe in that or don't believe in that, it still have an energy and a field that you will see the assistance occurring in your life. Because just like, in the Bible, right, it says when two or more is gathered, God is there, right? Now the reason why is because the energy field and the magnetic field is more stronger, right? So it's more stronger the more people put the energy field into something where they all believe into something. It creates that, because everything happened on the astral realm first before it happens on the physical. And when you're using your consciousness, your subconscious mind, to create a will of your own belief, just remember this world, right? If you go through, let's use the Bible as a reference, right? It was talked into existence, right? But it's talked, anything can be talked into existence, but everything has to be talked into existence with an emotion behind it. The strongest emotion is what creates. This is why sometimes people experience negativity in life, because their mind is negative, right? They're their own downfall. They spend too much time thinking negative. Now, if you spend 90% of your day thinking negative, you will create the negative energy field that you're now going to experience in your sphere sensation. That means in your own micro, in your own world, right? So you may experience it at your job, in your school, at home, your relationship, because you're constantly in a negative mind space. So it has an attraction. You have an aura around you. You have a magnetic field around you. You have energy around you, and you're constantly always attracting. So if you're thinking negative, you're going to start attracting the negativity, because that's the strongest emotion. You ever see someone hurt and starts crying, and they spend a whole night in bed, and they experience the most negative experience because they're crying, they're hurt, they're sad, they're confused, and they spend days in bed because the relationship is not working. And it's like they go to the guy or they go to the female and they tell them, hey, listen, you're ill-treating me, you're hurting me, you're making me feel down, and nothing changes. It's actually worse. It's actually the worst experience that they had before they even said anything. And I see a lot of a lot of contents where a lot of women may come up and say, guys is this, guys is that, guys is this. But keep in mind, although some people may experience the worst experience in their relationship, if you don't protect your mind in the era that we live, because there's always eras, right? There's always, each era produces a certain mind concept in how we think about everything that takes place in our world, right? So we're in the era where there's a feminine energy and there is an energy on the ram that women are waking up and seeing that they're being mistreated a lot of times, right? Compared to the woman in the other era, like, a few years ago, women were more submissive in maybe in our grandparents' age, right? Compared to the woman right now, right? So each era produces a certain energy and magnetic field on the ram. Now you have to, although it produces that and you may see that, you still have to protect your mind on this ram, because you have to understand that everything that you experience is what you put in your subconscious mind. So your subconscious mind is going to start creating your experience. So every negative experience, you must look at it as, let me see if I can see the good outcome that is going to come out of it. Because if you see yourself in a whirlwind of toxicity, your result will be a whirlwind of toxicity, right? So if you see yourself go through something negative, and then you say to yourself, I know something positive is going to come out of this, there's something that I have to learn from this experience, then you will realize you're going to experience more positivity, because you're understanding that this incident is occurring because you have to learn a specific experience for you to level your soul up, right? Because as we come into this realm, there's majority of people is on the nefesh soul, and when you're in the nefesh soul, you have the way of thinking as you're in the malakut, which is the kingdom, right? So it's an animal kingdom, so it's a lot of selfishness, it's a lot of for self, it's a lot of defense mechanism, there's a lot of me, right? So as the soul raised to the higher level of the soul, which is the nefsham, you will realize that the person may be having more integrity and morality and not about me, right? So then when you raise yourself to the rogue, you'll realize that this person may have not just integrity and more morality, but this person may have more self-discipline. And as you raise yourself to your highest self, then you will realize that this person who is more on a consciousness level. They're more awake. They're considered awoke, right? And people use a lot of things in terms of the era of the words that's being produced, but you will know if you run into someone who's on their highest self, based on this person would be an enlightened soul that understand how to conduct themselves and really on a higher level of consciousness, versus someone who is on a nefesh soul, right? So there will be not only integrity and morality and discipline as well, but you will see this person being able to really control their emotions, control their desires, of their selfishness. This person will go through the realm really being like a saint in comparison to the rest of the other people that you may be familiar with. So understand there's levels to the soul, and the reason why it's levels to the soul is because the soul is the one that's having the experience on this realm, right? And the soul is the one who is allowing you right now to experience this third dimension. And this is why it can raise up, right? It can go up, right? if you take more pride in your own self, you will experience more a lavish life, a more luxurious life, and experience um, a better experience versus that if you are in um, a depressional state, in an insecurity mindset, a hurt mindset, a sad mindset. You will experience a very low vibrational experience versus experience more of a higher vibrational experience, because what you think, what you say, your actions has a vibration on it. It radiates a frequency that attracts whatever you're thinking, whatever you're saying, and whatever your actions prevail. So keep in mind, when you are meeting different souls, some souls may not be able to align with your energy. And this is where the bullying comes in, right? The bullying comes in from people tend to think that the person with the integrity, the morality, the kind soul, the caring soul is the pushover, and not understand it's the other way around. The kind soul, the caring, the empathetic is the strongest that you can think about, because it takes you to really be a person to put yourself in the back seat and to put people in the front seat. So there's a level of kindness and gentleness that your soul has. So we know that the soul doesn't operate on a nefesh, right? We know that the soul has risen for you to have this kind heart. And then you go into these spaces with these negative toxicity, this environment that have souls that is extremely bitter, angry, sad, upset, hate their life. And then here comes this light soul coming by, and people are upset. They don't like you. And if they don't like you, that's fine. That's wonderful when somebody doesn't like you, where you see the person is a narcissist, is toxic, is angry, is mean. I enjoy when you don't like me. I welcome that. I'm like, please don't like me, because if I see someone who's negative likes me, then I say to myself, where's my frequency? Where how low is my frequency for you to take a liking in me, and for you to actually see that you saw something in me that you liked about me. Why would you like me? So keep in mind, enjoy that experience when someone doesn't like you. Now, there's some videos that I have created, and one of the ways to raise the level of vibration is definitely watching the middle pillar, right? So the middle pillar video, and it's like in a form of vibrating the Elohims, right? So it's vibrating the names, and you're saying God names. So definitely watch that video, and it's a way to raise your frequency, to raise your vibration. But understand, even when you raise your vibration with maybe the magical chants, which is the Psalms, when you're raising your vibration, doing the middle pillar, or maybe you're doing a 6-pointed star invocation, a 5-pointed star invocation, because these things can raise the level of your soul. There's still a spiritual journey to be done. It's still work. You still have to discipline yourself, have integrity, have morality, control your subconscious mind in thinking more positive for you to experience more positivity, because it doesn't guarantee you positivity unless you're putting in the work to experience it. But I wanted to also, before I wrap that up with, can we really back off the bully? Absolutely. You could always back a bully up off of you. There's many different ways that you can push the bully back. I have made multiple videos with Psalms. You could do with Psalms, and then there's other ways that you can actually do it from doing the 6-point invocation and just go ahead and having that conversation and making yourself a union with your higher self as one, by opening up the 6-point star, or making the invocation through the 5-pointed star and becoming a union with your higher self as you talk to God, right? And you make, you know, you create your will. Now, I wanted to touch base with this book. Now, if you are on your spiritual journey and you wanted a good book to read and understand, just little peaks, a little knowledge. Now, you don't have to initiate. I have not initiated into any magical rites, so please understand that. But I do take a good look at what the knowledge is. And this is a good book. It's called The Temple of the Temple of High Magic, Hermetic Initiation in the Western Mystery of Traditions. And I just started this book again. I read it before, but I never finished. Usually, and the reason why I never finished none of my books is because I literally read too many books at the same time. I had stopped reading. I would say maybe I haven't read a book for like probably 2 years. But I definitely, when you're starting your spiritual journey, I definitely think that you need to definitely start opening up your subconscious mind to new beginnings and new understanding and experiences, so you can amplify your gifts if you have gifts, if you're a dreamer, if you are clairvoyant. These names, these Elohim names, and certain levels of invocation and middle pillars will amplify your gifts, because it would create a body of light around you that will amplify your gifts. So definitely get into that if that is the direction that you want to go as you continue your spiritual journey. Definitely activate your gifts. I request that you do that. This book is a really good book, and it really has so much in here, so much knowledge that you would be able to understand some of the information, although you're not practicing or touching base and going in depth, but you will have an insight of information. So I'm restarting the book back. I wanted to do 2 books at the same time, but then I thought to myself, am I being fair to myself doing 2 books? So I just started reading the book again. Now, this book is a path working book. And now, if you know anything about path working, you may have to record yourself speaking and saying, and then try to visualize it within visualization as each lesson. So it has lessons in this book that's going to help you understand the path working. So definitely go ahead and buy this book. And if you need me to discuss certain things in the book, go ahead and put it in the comments, because I'm going to be reading it. I'm now on chapter 2. I'm supposed to do the path working, but I didn't. I just recorded myself doing the path working. And if you wanted me to literally if you wanted me to do the path work and to do the voiceover, and then you kind of do the steps in the book, put in the comments below and I'll do a video for you. But I have created the path work in where I have spoken over to do the visualization. So yeah, it's a good book. Like I said, I got really far in the book, but I really read so many books at once. But this time I want to be really more consistent. I don't want anything really throwing me off. A lot of times I allow things to throw me off, and then I'm doing something else. I just got to learn to balance my time. But I'm going to start making videos every Sunday, guys. So if you want to see another video, and you have questions and you wanted me to make a video, as usual, comment below, comment in any comments, and I will create that video and allow you to see how you can do it. So thank you for watching. I'll see you next Sunday.